Good morning, it's Sunday and I'm waiting for Wendy to show up. Thought I could show you something just to prove that I'm actually in Sweden and not in, let's say, Botswana or Chad. And it's quite simple. If we just walk outside, this is today's weather. Looks something like this. We've got a bit of snow, we've got a couple of broken cables. This is my way of dealing with cable issues, is just like throwing them out. And today, I've got about 10 minutes to do this, so hopefully I'll get it right in the first the first segment. The last thing I did on the Rhys Marsh track was to add some Dhruva boxes to a drone that he'd already done. And it was, here's the Dhruva box. And there's all sorts of wonderful modes. So you can pitch these. Come on. Maybe. And then you get like a natural phasing because they're not quite in tune. So we go. But in modern life, we don't really have time for subtleties like that. Everything needs to be exaggerated and bigger than it is, right? So what I did, I could go to the start of the track so you can hear it, and this is what I got from Norway. It's airy and it's interesting and it's exciting. But I want to give it some kind of, for one thing, a bit of a low end, which is kind of maybe a weird thing to say about a little yellow box from India. But to give it low end and to give it some kind of movement, I naturally went into the MOTM 410, the triple resonant filter. And I could have obviously done the big stereo sweepy thing, but I did it a lot more primitive than that because I think actually I was lazy. I think that's the official term for it. So I recorded it, and this is what it sounds like. It's got a really good vocal quality to it. It goes like a bit like the filter in the GX1. It's obviously not the same, but it's got that same really good sweep. And as always, when it comes to these things, I never record just one. There's always two. So, and then the important thing, of course, with having two loops that are sweeping is that they shouldn't be locked in. They have to like shift around, otherwise it's fucking useless. So I just took the sweep knob. You probably can't see anything. Let's try to sort it out. I'll be a good photographer. The sweep knob over there. You still can't see anything. Alright, well, fuck it. There's a sweep knob. You have to trust me on that. Alright, so I got that, and you do 2 takes of it, and then you get this. And you pan those left, right, hard, of course, and what it will do is that you'll get the feeling as it's rising and going down, you'll get the idea that it's actually auto-panning, going across the glorious stereo image, which well, I mean, it's not really doing that, but it's just the same sound going through a filter, but you get the illusion of it. You can try to do the same thing with like hi-hats through a phaser and do 2 exactly the same and the phaser slightly out of sync, and you'll get the same idea. Well, I mean, the good thing about this is that it sounds really synthetic, and it brings another dimension to this airy ambient thing. The bad thing is that it sounds synthetic, and it brings a synthetic, airy bottomness to this. So, to add something that would take it a step away from that. I took out maybe one of the worst synths of all time, but one of the most useful tools of all time. That is, of course, the wonderful Casio SK5. And what I've done is... stop it. You're giving it away. I sang the note into the SK5, and that's here. And what I did was that I just glided into it. Because I don't want it to go, because when the SK5 loops something, it goes, and if you consider the background, it wouldn't be that subtle now. So this is my original recording of myself. So you can hear the loop. But what you do is that. And this is the A note, which means that if you go one octave up, you've got an octave. And the thing that happens is that if you go one octave up, it's double time. But now they're not in sync. But you get like a rhythm. Because as they're just like double the time, so the intervals are going to be the same. So we'll add more notes. So now we've got this really interesting polyrhythmic thing going on. Good. And the tape that I'm using is the Abbey Road signature tape. And it costs a bit more, but it's been, what do you call it? It's been blessed by the engineers at Abbey Road. And this is new old stock stuff. It costs a fortune, but it's worth it. So you should get yourself a roll of Abbey Road signature tape. And then you will do this. No! And this is my home-made crappy cable. And that goes obviously into the Modular analog delay, because I want to even it out just a bit. And we'll... And what is doing the sweep? Well, naturally, we're going through the MOTM resonant filter again. So we'll have some of the original tone in there. I'm actually up here, so that was a bit... So, we've got the Casio SK5 vocal loops that will, with a bit of luck, will add to the blend. We can listen to it. And now that sweep is obviously going too fast, so we'll take that down, and or the rate is going too fast. Sorry, all you people who actually are listening to this. I fucked up. The rate. I'm changing the rate. And here we go. I'm going to record it. Have a great Sunday. Or when you see this, it's already been Sunday. So I hope you had a wonderful Sunday. So go out and play in the snow, unless you're in Botswana or Chad. Okay. Hey.